Hello everyone and welcome to another in my constructed video series. This is Brian Kibler with StarCityGames.com, and this week we are once again going to be playing some Temur. I was pleased to find that Temur managed to take second place at the Grand Prix this weekend in Stockholm with a list that was very close to the one that I posted in my article on Star City on Friday of, I guess it'll be 2 weeks ago by the time you're probably seeing this. But anyway, so if you'd read my article a few weeks ago, you could have played it in the Grand Prix in LA, where I made top 16 after going undefeated day one. And if you read the article the following week, you could have made the finals of the Grand Prix in Stockholm. So read my articles, play sweet Temur decks. Anyway, I just wanted to play a little bit with some of the cards that there were a few changes that, let me, the gentleman's name, I really can't pronounce. Einar Baldavsson. I'm sure I got that wrong, but, finals in the Grand Prix is a really good finish, and it's good to see that, the deck has the chops that I have always felt it had. The main difference between my deck that I posted and the deck that ultimately got second in the Grand Prix was actually just the 3 Heir of the Wilds versus 4 Elvish Mystics in the main deck. Einar played a Stormbreath Dragon in the main deck where I have a 4th Ashcloud Phoenix. I don't think that's right. I think Ashcloud Phoenix is just so good that I really want to have the 4 copies of it. It's just really powerful. And I like to draw multiples. I actually think that Ashcloud Phoenix gets even better with the more mana creatures because the ability to flip it back up, also just to be able to morph it in turn 2, to give you a better curve. It's just a great card. Stormbreath Dragon is good, and Einar played a couple copies in his sideboard, which I'm adopting here. I had a couple copies in my sideboard previously. I had removed them because I wanted to have some more sort of anti-red type cards. Here I've cut down a little bit in the removal that I have in the sideboard. I have 1 Lightning Strike, 1 Arc Lightning, and 3 Sprays. Red wasn't particularly successful in Stockholm, so it's possible that again it may fall out of favor. The deck that was very popular, very successful, sort of new deck was Green-Black Enchantress. We saw a lot of sort of graveyard decks. This is actually, interestingly, a deck that I was very interested in working on leading up to the Pro Tour. Basically, just the Eidolon of Blossoms, Doomwake Giant deck with Pharika, that sort of thing. With Whip of Erebos, because Whip of Erebos is a very powerful card in a format where people are playing aggressive decks that are trying to burn you out. Things like Jeskai, things like Mono Red. Whip is really powerful against those. And Doomwake Giant is very powerful against some of those. It's among the better cards against Mono Red, assuming you can actually get to 5 mana to cast it, because it basically kills all of their stuff. It's not nearly so good against Jeskai or a lot of the other decks, but it is very good against green decks because it kills a lot of mana creatures. Doomwake Giant is actually quite good against this deck, in particular because of Ashcloud Phoenix actually dying to its trigger. So I think that will be a deck to keep in mind as the format matures. Because that is a mana creature, Eidolon of Blossoms deck is another place that Hunt the Hunter is good. It's possible it is actually correct to go back up to 4 Hunt the Hunters. With that in mind, the popularity of both Temur. If Temur does rise in popularity, Hunt the Hunter is going to be great in the mirror match. Green Devotion and these Enchantress decks, these are all places that Hunt the Hunter is fantastic. So I think that these Stormbreath Dragons are probably luxury cards, but the gentleman who got second place in the Grand Prix played them, so I'm gonna try them out again, even though I wasn't super happy with them before. But just gonna give the deck a try. I definitely think that the Heir of the Wilds versus Elvish Mystic call is a reasonable one. A lot of times, if you have an Elvish Mystic on one, you can ramp into some much more exciting stuff than Heir of the Wilds. And you will generally play Rattleclaw over Heir on turn 2, so it is definitely your second tier 2-drop, but it is certainly a card that I think is pretty important in the deck. And I don't know that I'd go below 3. I think that 3 is probably where I'd stop. It's possible that I still think 4 is correct, but we'll see. We'll play some games. So again, nothing super new and super unusual about this particular version of the deck. It's still aggressive, tempo based. Lots of burn and big creatures and evasion to take people out. So let's get to it, shall we?